Hello, welcome back to Fred in the Shed. We're back up in the Radio Shack. I hope you're well. Now, those of you that follow the channel and are subscribed, cheers, thank you very much. You might remember this little radio we did a review on a while back. This was the RADDY RF750, a tiny little sort of military style pocket radio. And at the time, I think this was a radio for collectors because people do collect shortwave radios. This one was definitely fitted into that category. Because it was a RADDY, you got a decent sounding speaker. There was two versions. There was an LCD version, but I rather liked this older style version with a tuning dial here that was backlit amber, and it just reminded me of an old-fashioned radio. Not everyone's cup of tea, but it was interesting. Well, RADDY have now improved this, and we now have got the RF750 Plus. And the first thing you'll notice is it's smaller. It's about two-thirds of the size. And, oh boy, they've just gone to town with this. I mean, it's hard to describe. It's almost like the designers of this radio and the digital version. It's almost like RADDY said to them, I'll tell you what, we'll have a new one, but here's the budget, and here's a blank sheet of paper, and fill your boots. And they really have. This is so quirky. When we get into this review, I'll show you all of its features, and it's absolutely bizarre. The first thing that I will share with you is when you pick it up, it's heavy. Compared to this radio, it weighs almost twice as much, and that's because the body or the casework is cast aluminium. It's made out of metal. I mean, if you threw this at someone across the room, it would hurt. So it is a bizarre little radio. We're going to have quite a bit of fun in looking at this when I show you some of the features on the radio, and that's what's coming up. So stick with the review. Cheers, guys. We will go around and have a closer look at the radio. It's definitely worth getting in personal with this radio because there's so many little design touches. It's completely over-engineered. It's just like the designers had a free hand. And yeah, they went a bit wild. But on the other hand, there's some basic functions that are missing. And you'd think, why would they miss that out? It's very quirky. Very much a collector's radio. Let's have a quick look in the box, because it's quite interesting what you get. It's not until you open the box that you realise how small this thing is. It's nicely packed, foam surround, no problems there. You get a few little goodies in the box. The first thing, I think it's worth a mention actually, you do get a wrist lanyard strap. And it's actually really quite nice. I've got to be honest with you, I normally just sort of throw these away, but this one has a sort of a military style camouflage weave, if you like. And it's adjustable. Yeah, it's quite nice. You get something a little bit more useful. Now, I think this is really good. This has an AM ferrite rod antenna. This fits into the top of the radio like so. And then this allows you to adjust the direction for the AM signal. Normally you would just get a ferrite rod inside the radio, so you'd have to turn the radio a bit like this. This maybe because the radio's metal, it might have caused interference, but I do think this is a good feature, and yeah, quite a nice little touch. You also get a belt clip. It's quite a heavy radio. I wouldn't sort of have it on your wrist, but that attaches to the radio like so. Then it can swing about on your belt. And then you get an adapter here. This is a USB-C to 3.5 inch stereo adapter for headphones, because despite all of the design features, it hasn't got a headphone jack. Now, as far as Bluetooth, it says that it's 5.2 Bluetooth to use it as a phone speaker, but I don't think that's two-way. So as far as I'm aware, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but as far as I'm aware, you can't use Bluetooth headphones or Bluetooth earbuds. When we look at the basic specs on the radio, It's quite conventional, really. I mean, the FM covers the DX band, so it's 64 to 108. Medium wave, 520 to 1710. It does the 9 and 10 kilohertz steps. Shortwave, just broadcast band on this, 4.7 to 21.85. And then it has the weather band for North America, 162.4 to 162.5. So perfectly conventional, really. You need to sort of get in a little bit closer on this design, and then you just start seeing these amazing quirks, really. It's a bit like this little door here. Now, this is the TF card door for the MP3 player. When you look at it closely, you've got two little screws here, a spring, and then the door itself. And then to open it, you have to sort of pull it out. And you'll notice that it's sprung. Can you see that? I mean, it's crazy. And inside there's rubber on the inside of the door there. So what happens when you close this, you see it springs up, and then you have to push it down and then push it in, and it locks. I mean, how over-engineered is that? And then below that, you've got these two switches. Now, this is the only kind of issue with the radio. These switches are multifunctional, and you've got to try and remember what they do. Not particularly easy. These do light up. And then moving around to the back of the radio, and even here the engineers or designers haven't stopped, because they've done this kind of, I would say it's like a safe door. Do you see this design? I mean, completely unnecessary. And there's a little catch here. Again, it's hinged. So, and this just opens up. If I can get it open. There we go. And this just opens up like a safe door. It's made out of plastic. So inside we've got the BL5C 3.7 1000 mAh Nokia battery. Get these anywhere on eBay. Pretty good battery, I think. Cheap as chips. Put the safe door back on. There we go. And then coming around to this side of the radio, again, we've got another one of these completely over-engineered latches. And this is for the USB-C, the charging port. Once again, we have foam insert on the little door there, and it's sprung. I mean, you know, it's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. They'd go to such, you could just put a rubber cap in there. Now below that, we have another engineering design feature. So behind this little plastic green tube here, we have 3 LEDs for the charging system, like a traffic light system, which is fine. But they didn't stop there. Someone thought, you know, why we're actually putting on this piece of clear plastic. I'll tell you what, let's make it a spirit level. Can you see that? It is quite bizarre. And it's a spirit level. I mean, why? Why would you do that? It is absolutely crazy, this radio. Moving on to the top of the radio, let's just take out the ferret bar. Again, we've got a little cap there with foam rubber. Again, it's double hinged. Locks into place. Got a series of LED lights on the top here. And I have a feeling these are going to flash along like a VU meter when you use the MP3 player. Telescopic whip antenna. It's okay. It's got one of those very, very thin toothpick style. I think I'm out of focus. There we go. Sorry. Got one of those very, very thin toothpick style end sections that I'm not that keen on. But it is solid, so I suppose it's probably stronger than it. It's probably sprung steel, isn't it? It's probably stronger than I'm giving it credit for. Small telescopic antenna. No antenna socket on this one to plug in an external antenna. Which again, so I'm trying to focus, is going a bit crazy. But again, you know, you've got all of these little quirky features. They missed out an antenna socket. would have been quite nice because it has shortwave. And then we come to this thing. Now this is a little bit bizarre. This joystick affair, it's like something you'd have on a, I don't know, a PlayStation or something. It is multi-functional. It's, you push it left, right, up and down. And pretty much all of the functions and adjustments on the radio, such as scanning, tuning, volume, is all done via this little joystick. And I've got to say, it's not intuitive, and I found it really quite frustrating to use. And once again, you know, you've got all of this space where, I hope you can see that, it says engine now, and you've got like sort of like an engine manifold. And why do they do that? This engine manifold thing. Personally, just put some buttons, you know, just put some buttons on here, up and down for the volume if you must, or rotary encoder would have been better, and AM, FM shortwave, you know. When you were designing it, why? Oh, it moved. What does this do? I didn't realise that rotated. So you've got this like turbine fan here, which is metal, and it spins. It's like those little gadget sort of spinners, you know, those little fidget spinners. Why? It doesn't do anything. Okay, but behind there is, once again, RADDY always put a decent speaker in their radios, and behind there is a decent speaker. Simple LED display, is backlit, and then I believe these little things here light up. Let me switch it on. Yeah. Okay, that's the volume. See, again, I don't know quite how to, that's tuning, presets. How do you turn the volume down? Oh, there you go. It's a little overcomplicated, isn't it, really? Yeah, so we're going straight onto shortwave there. I think if you press that again. So yeah, I mean, 25 pages on the instructions to use this. And you need them as well. So tuning is just by pushing the little joystick backwards and forwards. Hopefully you can see that. I know I've got the camera on bright lights there. And to change bands, so without really reading the instructions, that switches it off again. That's a 90-minute sleep timer, which is a bit annoying. That's a mute. That pauses the and down here for a sec. So yeah, I'm just trying to work out how to change the radio band. And there's a little green, little green and red light as well. Can you see that in the top? Off, on, sleep timer. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it has an SOS function and a spinny little grill thing. Let me just dip into the instructions and let me just work out how to change the bands. I've just spent about 5 minutes reading through these instructions, and I just can't see how you change the bands. It's got everything else on here, including the equalisation settings. Just want to change it onto FM. And of course this little multifunctional joystick thing, I mean, oh my god, look at that. That is all of the different parameters and settings. But I can't quite work out how to change the bands. If you hold this down, it goes into the EQ. So we've got 6 different EQ settings, which I suppose is, you know, it's quite nice if you like that sort of thing. That is the volume. This is your tuning, automatic tuning. That's fine. I don't know how you, so that's your shortwave tuning. I mean, there must be a way of switching it out of this Bluetooth mode and switching the radio on, but I'm just losing my life slowly here. Okay, so let's see how this works. So switch it on. There we go. Please press the power button to enjoy your radio. Please open and connect Bluetooth. Bluetooth connected. Okay. Band. There we go. So it does work. Let me extend the antenna. Right. Let's turn up the volume. And let's see if we can tune up. There we go. So there's a mute. So yeah, I mean, it's clearly designed to work with your phone, isn't it, really? The fact it has so little buttons on the radio. I mean, if you use it with the app, it's actually, I mean, it's quite good, but I guess it's a modern thing, isn't it? Here's the EQ setting. Pause that up. So if I went to enter, so if I want to say, so if I just go up to 93.5, enter. I'll pause it. Let's turn the overhead lights off.
It's what they do for each other, and as you go through this story, the things that...
So you've got this little VU meter here. Let me just turn some of the lights down.
They did carry on, despite having been told to stop by a judge. That would be the first time that the administration has just completely breached a court order. We've been talking about, are we in a constitutional...
And Colours TV, sponsored by Shana.
Or self-exclusion. Make sure you're in control of your gas.
13-year-olds, 15-year-olds. We're not very reliable. We don't know what we're doing.
Arttırıyor. Ya belirsizlikler hakikaten çok fazla ve mesela biz bazı ekonomik modellemeler yaptığımızda bazı değişkenler koyarız ve o değişkenlerin belli kat sayıları olur. Şimdi inanın
Holograph mit der er durch Großbritannien und den Niederlanden tourte und Albenpartner.
Diferită de restul țării noastre. Și trebuie să avem o imensă datorie de recunoștință față de cei care, în singurătate, izolați, denunțați, au gândit la acest viitor.
It's politics and it's Shed 7. What more do you want? Thank you for that. Thank you for your message today. Drives next.
So you really do have to use the app on your phone to control the radio. It blew my mind trying to work out those button press combinations and that little joystick there. It's not a good thing. I've never been beaten by a radio before, but that one did beat me. But once you've got the app on your phone, it's really easy to use, and it makes sense really because you've got the bandwidth there. You can see the signal noise ratio. You've got 297 presets that you can program into the memories. Makes it really easy. And changing channel, of course, yeah, dead easy. Just press the up and down key or type in the frequency, whatever's easiest for you. That should be one there, and away you go.
And on your smart speaker, Talk Sport.
Sounds pretty good as well for a little tiny thing.
Hello
And to be fair to it, when I had the telescopic whip antenna up, it picked up some shortwave as well, just the main sort of, you know, powerful stations. I do like the little ferrite rod antenna. I find that really, really useful. And it seems to work really, really well. So, conclusions. It's really hard, isn't it, to do a conclusion on this radio. It's so unique. Well, firstly, of course, it's not going to appeal to anyone that's into radio for sensitivity and listening to radio. It's a novelty item, but there are people out there that collect these little radios. They really like quirky and interesting radios, and this has got quirkiness by the barrelful. The fact it's made out of metal as well is completely bizarre. It just gives it so much weight. I mean, this is actually quite heavy to hold in my hand. I think there's a few things, you know, they could have done. I mean, I don't really see the point of having this fidget spinner on the front. I understand that they've saved money by not having a headphone socket, and you get this little adapter which goes in the USB-C and puts your 3.5mm jack. That's fine. But I think as this is so packed with technology, maybe cut down on the flashing lights and fit a better Bluetooth module so you could actually pair this up to headphones or earbuds. That would make a little bit more sense. Now, when it comes down to all these little flashing lights and gimmicks, if that's your thing, you can go into the menu system and you can configure which ones what you want on, and for how long would you like these lights to come on for, if you want them on all the time or whatever. Yeah, you can absolutely fill your boots. Not my sort of thing, really. So yeah, it's a very interesting little radio. It's got a good sound quality. It's quite selective and it's quite sensitive, and it will pick up broadcast shortwave. Whether it's for you or not, well, I don't know. You let me know. You let me know in the comments. If you're interested in checking out this little RF750 Plus, as always, there will be a link in the description. You can go away and check it out for yourself. So that's the end of the video. I hope you found it interesting. It's something a little bit different. As always, please, please, please look after each other for me. And of course, I'll catch you on the next video. Cheers, guys.
Fred's in the shed where the magic unfolds. Fred in the shed with his trusty CB. He's a friend to the lonely on a frequency.